Hello, this is Kurt Brown, also known as Saint Rambone, former FDIC bank examiner and investigative journalist. The Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation is insuring your deposits through $250,000 at all FDIC qualified banks. That's what I did, was basically qualify them so they could get insurance at a certain rate. I want to talk about big things that happened that are coming in my mind after a stroke and being forcibly injected. 2004. This involves 1999. I was a bank examiner for Roseville, California FDIC office. My boss there, my immediate boss, was vacated from his home. The entire neighborhood was vacated when jet fuel was found there in 1999. I was privy to this information, well known in public mass media. Scuttlebutt. Also, I was a little bit concerned about the man now in hindsight. Then again, I'm also alarmed. Who's on whose side in the bank examination business is like looking at a bunch of lions. Any day the game could change. After all, the regional FDIC director had been shot in his office in San Francisco, California. Hey, turn around there, Big Bird. Big Bird, sweet. Pay attention, sweet. Big Bird, sweet. Anyway, he had been shot in his office, the FDIC regional director. And that made me suspicious. Then the fact that my boss, as soon as I went working there, had jet fuel found in his neighborhood, and the whole neighborhood was evacuated in Rocklin, California. I'll put a link to this in this video when I get around to it. I'll do this for free, you know. I'm the most valuable bank examiner the FDIC ever had. But what? You got something to say, Sweet? Spit it out. Sweet's got two. Don't take much to be an FDIC employee. She makes more than I do. Anyway, jet fuel found in a man's yard had to vacate the whole neighborhood. Now imagine somebody lit a match over there and been killed. Sweet, turn around. Sweet has got major attitude. Forget about it. Sweet's done. She doesn't want to hear. She doesn't want to know. The deal is, jet fuel was in that man's neighborhood. And it was a mess. They had to vacate it. It comes to find out in this, you'll see in the link that I'll put on this post, news post, on the videos. You'll see there's a pipeline that runs from Reno to Rocklin with jet fuel. In 1999, the Rocklin end near Roseville, California, which is near Sacramento, the capital. In Rocklin, California, 1999, supposedly a bunch of it spilled out, sort of bubbled up in people's yards. Very strange. Ironically, I think they permanently moved my boss from that neighborhood. I'm a little concerned about my boss. Simply because my prior boss, even though he did recommend me for termination for not completing the Xanadu project, look boys, I only work 72 hours a week. I don't work 84. I have to have a day for Sabbath, you know what I mean? He knows what I'm talking about. Look at him to a higher elevation. There he is. Rah! Sweet. Going places on Sabbath, ain't we, baby? So, anyway, I didn't finish his Xanadu project. He recommended me for termination. He said he was going to recommend me for termination. I was transferring to San Francisco. That's where the regional director had been killed. I wanted to get up in that. There was more going on in the Roseville office, and I should have stayed there, and I am remiss, my friend, my former boss. Had I seen that diesel fuel in your yard the way I see it now, I would have stayed. Because I also want to know, whose side are you on, mine or the other side? Was the diesel fuel put out there to warn me or to warn you? There's a difference. Not talking about it warning me, it would be saying to watch out for Chinese influences and putting people into offices with technology, somehow pretending to be Americans. Could be Russians, could be Germans doing this. I don't mean to pick on the Chinese. Could be anyone. Big money and money laundering. It's the only business that pays, boys and girls. It's right there at the bank, and it has the biggest underflow of cash you'll ever have. It says GM left the United States. Anyway, in 2004, I was driving through Brahman, Oklahoma, and something exploded near my vehicle. Ooh, driving along, boom! Hits right there in front of me on the left side, up on the highway, off the highway about 200 yards to 600 yards, I don't know. A large burning object hit the ground. When it hit the ground, it exploded. Made a bright flash like day. I could see. It was a field there, and there were some woods beyond it, to the north of it. I was traveling from the south, going north, towards Wichita, between Oklahoma City and Wichita. I was in Brahman, Oklahoma, or thereabouts, because I gotten gas in Brahman. That's why I said Brahman. It was before the Kansas line. In a field in year 2004, December 7th, which also happens to be the birthday of Pearl Harbor bombing. Kind of weird. Once a bright flash hit, I drove through it. And then once the flash went away, I was blind for a second because the flash was so bright. My headlights did not compensate, but I just stayed the course and drove forward. I think my training as a quartermaster in the Navy helped me in that, because that's probably what I'd done if a nuclear bomb hit, just stayed the course and drove forward if we were in formation. Oh man, sweet Carol, sweet Carol. I need a job. I haven't had a job since I left the FDIC in the year 2000, believe it or not. Woo! I need the cash, baby. I can't use the VA health care. It's turned out to be a torture camp. They killed veterans in Los Angeles there in 1999 and tortured me there in 2001. In 2004, I was injected forcibly, knocked unconscious at Flagstaff Medical Center in Flagstaff, Arizona. I was just simply reporting a burn on my neck and one in my truck checked for radiation. Mr. Bavazzi came to power there in 2001. He had formerly been the mayor of Flagstaff. He has absolutely no medical background. Suddenly became the chairman of the board of Flagstaff Medical Center and is so to this day. I don't think he's qualified, and I see that's just part of a police state action, because the Arizona Title 36 laws, 36-520, enables the government to take away all your rights under the writ of habeas corpus, but it means basically you have no rights and they can detain you at any time and inject you with chemicals if they so please. Bah! Don't you have something to say? Yeah, I don't like it. Tell me. Sweet don't even like it. Yeah. So, we were issuing a bank charter in 1999 to a man from Reno, Nevada, believe it or not. He looked greasy to me, but I don't know. He might have been on the China mark, because as we know, international money laundering is big. Big money, and we got some guys from Zoo and Zoo from the Bank of China in 2004, near where the bomb hit me. Bank of China out of Macau. Alleged $485 million. And I've been informed that it was too much, that it wasn't Zoo and Zoo's money. I see a wheel, a money laundering wheel that goes from the United States to Macau. Right up Macau. But is that really Zoo and Zoo in jail in Las Vegas? I heard they put Zoo and Zoo's head on a monkey body and put the monkey body, or the monkey head on Zoo and Zoo's body, and they are in prison. That's a joke part, but I have a joke about Zoo and Zoo in the Bank of China out of Macau. So that means we have two China women with monkey bodies traveling around somewhere on this earth, free. Zoo and Zoo, and inside is Zoo and Zoo's body with two monkey heads. Man, I tell you what, this stuff's got to me, boys. I need a job. Sweet Carol, please pass it on to Massa and that Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation Board of Directors and the Treasury that I need work. I need health care. I cannot be used as a guinea pig. I've had somewhat of a stroke, but I am still somewhat capable of lounging in my chambre de couche and keeping an eye on Sweet Carol. Is that right? Yes, Sweet Carol knows. The FDIC, check it out, boy. I'll put links in here to help you on the side, because sometimes my mind's a little scattered. You have to remember I've been through a lot. Google search, Mobile Audit Club, Mobile Audit Club, Mobile Audit Club. How you feel, sweet? Sweet's my baby, baby. Sweet, sweet melody.